now let's talk about, I said we also do something called active profiling. And this is sort of the secret sauce to BioCatch. We identify something in each user called a cognitive loop. And this is something that's unique to everybody. So if I was to say to Betty, Betty, sign your name, and then I asked everybody in the room to reproduce Betty's signature, and I didn't show you her signature, no one would be able to reproduce her signature. If we did show you her signature and asked you to reproduce her signature, still no one would be able to uniquely and perfectly match her signature. And the reason is what's something that's called a cognitive loop. And it's actually where two sciences converge, right, in our product. One is machine learning, and one is called neuroscience, which is brain studies. The reason everyone produces a unique signature is because of how your brain and your body work together. So Betty decides that she's going to sign her name, and her brain processes the task of signing her name, and a message is sent through her body, and it goes through her central nervous system, to her physiology, to her anatomy, all of which is unique to her, right? So her muscle length and strength and size and coordination level and the size of her hand is all unique to her. So her brain and body process all this information, and it actually gets to the point to where her hand is going to move the pen on a piece of paper. And as soon as her hand starts to move the pen on a piece of paper, her brain now gets a signal back from her eyes that says this is what her hand has done. And the process starts all over again. And it runs thousands of times until she's produced her signature. And it's called a cognitive loop. What BioCatch has been able to do is actually trick the user or invoke the user below their perceptory level into giving us that unique cognitive signature. And the way that we do it is we do it through invisible challenges. So let me give you an example of how we do it. Let's say you have entered in your username and password, and you're now going to move the cursor from the password box over to hit the login button. What we do is we actually deviate the path of the cursor below the perceptory level, so maybe 3 or 5 degrees. So what happens is, consciously you don't go, hey, something's happening here, but subconsciously your brain, and the way that your brain works, is that you're fixated on hitting the login button. So what happens is, at some point, your brain recognizes that, hey, I need to make a correction to actually get back on path to hit that login button. And when and how you react is your cognitive loop. So we have many other tricks within the system. We will make the cursor disappear for 500 milliseconds. Again, it's below your perceptory level. You don't recognize that, hey, something's happened here. But subconsciously, there's a trigger in your mind to cause you to react. And how you react will be specific to you. So at a high level, that's BioCatch. It's called a cognitive behavioral signature. We can literally tell there's a human being on the other side of the device, and it's the correct human being or it's not.
Excellent. So if you think about the consortium view of this as well, we can start to share some of that